So now we move on a little bit to these parts here, and I will explain. So we now have different primary experiences, and primary experiences is the experiences in the newly born child of pain, smell, touch, and taste. So it's the experiences of quantitative senses. Now, of course, there is something called motivation in a human being and in a lot of animals also. It's something that makes us move around and have an urge to do things and crave things and satisfy needs of different sorts. That is what they call motivation. And it comes from, originally in the infant, it comes from primary experiences. That's the most obvious. I want to eat, I have to satisfy my need for eating. I want to escape pain, so I want to flee the situation giving me pain. That's some sort of motivation. But as we grow older, primary experiences will be sort of intertwined with the next layer here, and it will not only be the primary experiences, it will just be experiences. So that's a broader word that covers all kinds of experiences. So seeing and hearing can give experiences in later life, but they originally in themselves cannot give experiences. The experiences from seeing and hearing are actually not direct experiences, but they are sort of they act like experiences, so to speak. Okay, so that's what I call them general experiences or secondary experiences that emerge in later life. And those can also cause motivation in our complex later lives. Okay, so then we have, I don't know if spectra is really a very good word here, but it is what I have ended up with, and well, that's what we have. It's some sort of, when comparing data in the mind, it must be plotted into something to make the distinctions between the data. And those charts I call spectra. The next word here, I'm not very sure about either, but I can't come up with any better word for it. So categories is actually, what I mean by categories is the places in the brain where data, the memories of data ends up. So it's like the hard drive, the spaces on the hard drive in a computer is categories. Okay. Then I guess everything is very clear to you at the moment. That's a joke. Okay, so we move on to the third level here. And obviously, words is something very central, but what I propose is that they are just reflections, or they are symbols of places in the brain. And I think many neuroscientists would agree on that is a pretty good definition of words. So the words actually corresponds to categories or complex categories. Like experiences, categories grow complex with time, and they do not just treat data, but also experiences. You have memories of experiences and things like that, and that's what we call complex categories then. So words represent these places in brain that gather information about specific things. Okay, so the one word in itself would not be anything by itself. Several words must give rise to grammar when compared or put in a sentence. And together, grammar and words is what we call thoughts. So you can look at this third line is the way I want to, the same idea that I want to apply to the other two lines. So words produces something called grammar when combined or compared, which produces thought as another dimension to words and grammar gives rise to something entirely different. So that's the same as data by itself being nothing special, but when compared, it gives rise to spectra, and those can give rise to categories if you have a storage place in the brain. And it goes for the upper line also. And so that's the general idea. Yeah, that's pretty much it. This is the system of mind. There is not very much more to it. So, what we could conclude is one of the most, well, probably maybe the most interesting question nowadays is how do we produce intelligence in, say, computers or something? Or how do we create intelligent life?